Our class acid, bases and salt. The previous session we studied about acid, bases. Let us revise completely about the acid, bases and salts. Okay. So before we study about acid, bases and salt, let us know something basics about what are acids and what are bases and salt. So what are acids actually? Acids are the one. When I write about acids, what are acids? Acids are the substances which contains H plus ions. They have H plus ions, okay, and they convert blue litmus to red. They convert blue litmus to red. So this is what we studied in our lower classes also. We used to say acids, they contains H plus ions, they convert blue litmus to red litmus, and they are also sour in taste. This is what we studied in the lower classes also. Okay. So what are the examples of acids that which we find in our daily life? Can you name some examples? Yes, tomatoes, okay, oranges, tamarind, tomatoes, oranges, tamarind, okay. All these some of the examples of acids which we find in our daily life. So which acid is present? So the acid which is present in oranges is, what type of acid is present in the oranges? Yes, it is citric acid. Okay, you can find citric acid in lemon also, right? The acid which is present in tamarind, tartaric acid. Okay, you find oxalic acid in tomatoes, okay, and you find acetic acid in vinegar. So these are some of the acids which we find in our daily life. In the same way, what are bases then? So we said acids, they contain H plus ions and they convert blue litmus to red. Okay, now what are bases? Bases are the one which contains OH minus ions in them and they convert red litmus to blue and they are soapy to touch. Okay, so these are called as bases. What are the bases that you find in our daily life? Yeah, our window cleaners, okay, ammonium hydroxide is present in it, soap and detergent, okay. Example, those are the examples of bases that we find in our daily life. So this is what the basics that we find. So what is salt? The combination of acid plus base will give you a salt. So in this class we are going to study in detail about the properties of acids, properties of bases and about properties of salts and compounds which are prepared from salts and their uses. So let us start our chapter about acid, bases and salt. Let us start our topic of acid, bases, salt with an indicators. So what are indicators? Indicators are the substances which are used to know the nature of substance, that is acidic or a basic, right? Those substances we call as indicators. Okay, so we have two types of indicators. Okay, one is natural indicator, second one is artificial indicator. Okay, so it is also called as synthetic or man-made indicators. So what are natural indicators and artificial indicators, and how do we find the nature of substance as acidic or a basic? Let us try to know about it. So what are natural indicators? We have a natural indicators like a red cabbage, okay, lemon juice, turmeric, okay. So colors of petals, that is flowers, okay. So all these are the examples of natural indicators. By changing color we can identify whether the given substance is acidic or a basic. In the same way, artificial indicators are the man-made one. We have two types of artificial indicators. One we call color change indicators, right? They changes their color, like methyl orange and a phenolphthalein indicator. So methyl orange and phenolphthalein, like, and one more one we have olfactory indicators. Okay, so what are olfactory indicators? We will discuss after this. So how do we identify the nature of substance with the help of these indicators like methyl orange and phenolphthalein? Let us try to find out here. For example, let us collect few acids from our laboratory. Okay, so let us collect some acids like HCl, H2SO4 and bases like NaOH and KOH. Okay, we'll take methyl orange and phenolphthalein. How do we identify the nature of substance? So this is how do we identify the change in color. With the help of these methyl orange and phenolphthalein indicator, these are artificial indicators, we can know the nature of substance as acidic or basic. There is a change in color. So here I have put down some examples. I have taken HCl and H2SO4 acids, NaOH and KOH as base. When methyl orange solution is added to the HCl and H2SO4, they changes red in color. Okay, when phenolphthalein is added to the acids, they changes to colorless. When methyl orange is added to bases, it becomes yellow. When phenolphthalein is added to bases, it becomes pink. So by change in color, we can identify the nature of substance as acidic or a basic. Okay, is it clear for everyone? Now let us discuss one more. I said you artificial indicators are of two types. One is color change indicators and another one is olfactory indicator. So what is olfactory indicator? Okay, these are the indicators, right, which are used to know the nature of substance as acidic or basic by change in smell. When we add these acids or base, when phenolphthalein, like when olfactory indicators, okay, such as onion, clove oil, okay, and vanilla essence, when these are added to the particular acidic or basic solution, there will be change in smell. Okay, if they changes their smell in acidic or basic medium, those type of indicators we call it as olfactory indicators. These are the examples of olfactory indicators. So with the help of these indicators, we can identify the nature of substance as acidic or a basic. So one more one we have, okay, color change indicator like litmus paper. How do we identify with the help of litmus paper? Right, we have two litmus paper which we generally use, red and blue. Right, is basic. Red litmus changes to blue in color. When solution is acidic, blue litmus paper changes to red in color. Okay, if red litmus paper is turning into blue, then we call it as basic substance. If blue litmus changes to red, we call it as acidic substance. Okay, so these are about indicators. How do we identify the nature of substances as acidic or a basic? So it is important one. Please practice your activity 1, okay, to know about nature of substances that are indicators. Okay, now let us move into very interesting concept, very important one in the acid, bases and salt, the properties of acids, bases and salt. Hope this concept is clear. Okay children, let us move to the chemical properties of acids and bases. Okay, let us start with the first point, reaction of acid with metal. See, all these reactions are very important. आपके एग्जाम्स में एक्टिविटी बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज के, which are very important. Okay, please try to understand this. So our first chemical property we are going to study is reaction of acid with metal. Okay, so what happens? I'll take an acid HCl, I'll react with a metal called zinc. So when acid reacts with metal, it releases hydrogen gas and forms a salt called zinc chloride. Okay, The remaining part of an acid reacts with the metal and forms a salt called zinc chloride and releases a gas called hydrogen gas. That is the first chemical property. Okay, how do we test the presence of gas hydrogen? Right, with the help of flame test. That is, you bring a burning candle near the mouth of the test tube in which hydrogen gas is collected. If it burns with a pop sound, okay, or it puts off by making pop sound, then it shows the gas is hydrogen gas. So all metals, when they react with acid, they give you hydrogen gas. Okay, now the next chemical property, reaction of base with metal. Now here nearly all acids, सब acids metal के साथ react करेंगे और आपको hydrogen gas मिलेगा. Right, now the question, do bases also reacts with metal? Yes, but not all metal reacts with the bases to release hydrogen gas. I'll take an example here. Base NaOH, when they reacts with zinc, it forms sodium zincate. It forms sodium zincate. Now the question comes, do all bases reacts with metal? All bases, they do not react with metal. Okay, only few metals. Now let us take an example. I'll take a base NaOH. I'll react with a metal called zinc. It gives you sodium zincate, along with that hydrogen gas is released. It is called sodium zincate. All metals do not react with the base to give hydrogen gas. That is important point, you need to note it down. Okay, simultaneously notes पे note down कीजिएगा, it will be easy for you all, right? So first chemical property is reaction of acid with metal. So what will happen when acid reacts with metal? Gives you hydrogen gas. So these are the first chemical property of acids and bases. Now let us move into the next chemical property, reaction of acid with carbonates and हाइड्रोजन कार्बोनेट्स. क्या होगा जब एसिड कार्बोनेट्स और हाइड्रोजन कार्बोनेट के साथ रिएक्ट करते हैं, राइट? सो व्हेन एसिड्स दे रिएक्ट्स विद कार्बोनेट्स एंड हाइड्रोजन कार्बोनेट्स, दे रिलीजेस अ गैस कॉल्ड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एक्टिविटी, राइट? इसके रिलेटेड एक्टिविटी प्रैक्टिस कीजिएगा, ठीक है? नाउ एसिड्स व्हेन रिएक्ट्स विद कार्बोनेट्स, मेटल कार्बोनेट्स, okay, they give you salt, water and a gas called carbon dioxide gas is released when acid reacts with carbonates. So how do we test the presence of gas carbon dioxide? Pass the gas into a lime water. Pass the gas into a lime water. Okay, what happens if this lime water turns into milky white? Okay, white PPT. If it forms white PPT, then it shows that the gas is nothing but carbon dioxide is released. Okay, so I'll put down with an example here. Acid HCl, when it reacts with carbonates, metal carbonates, Na2CO3, right? It gives you NaCl, salt, water plus carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so they are balancing chemical equation. Clear for everyone? Okay, now this is what the reaction of acid with carbonates. Now what happens when acid reacts with metal hydrogen carbonates? When acid reacts with metal hydrogen carbonates, when acid reacts with metal hydrogen carbonates, what will happen? Yes, the same compound, salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. Okay, chemical equation I'll put down here. HCl, when reacts with metal hydrogen carbonates, metal hydrogen carbonate, it give you salt called sodium chloride, water plus carbon dioxide. As I said you, how do we test the presence of gas? Pass that gas through a lime water. It's a lime water, right? If it turns into milky white, it gives you, it shows that a gas called carbon dioxide is released when acid reacts with carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonates. Okay, hope is this clear? Now let us move to the next chemical property of acids and base. We have seen reaction of acid with metal, reaction of acids with carbonates and metal carbonates, reaction of base with metal. Now what will happen when acid reacts with base or base reacts with acid? Acid plus base, what will happen? So when acid reacts with base, it gives you salt plus water. Such reaction we called neutralization reaction. Okay, so when acid reacts with the base, we get a compound called salt and water. Okay, let us try to put down an example here. I'll take a base, an acid HCl. When reacts with base NaOH, we get you a salt called NaCl plus water. Okay, any acid and base, they give you salt and water. Such reactions we call neutralization reaction. This is the other property of acids and bases. Okay, is it clear? This reaction is called what? Neutralization reaction. The next reaction is reaction of acid with metal oxide. It is important one. Okay, so what type of question could be asked regarding this one? They'll ask you to conclude, give your conclusion or give a reason when acid reacts with metal oxides. Okay, so children, let us discuss here. I'll take an example of acid when reacts with metal oxides. What will happen? What do we get? When acid reacts with metal oxides, we get salt plus water. Now hope this is similar to which reaction? Our neutralization reaction, right? So if acid are reacting with metal oxide, they are giving you salt and water, means these metal oxides should be basic in nature. So we can conclude that metal oxides are basic in nature. When they react with acid, they give you salt and water, which is similar to our neutralization reaction. Let us try to understand with an example. I'll take an acid called HCl, hydrochloric acid, when reacts with metal oxide called copper oxide. Color of copper oxide, we all know it is black in color, right? When it is dissolved in an acid or when it is made to react with acid, copper oxide completely dissolves in the hydrochloric acid and it gives you copper chloride, a bluish green colored compound, which is nothing but a salt and water is formed. Such a reaction we call it as, okay, similar. It is similar to our neutralization reaction. So what is happening here? Acids, when they are reacting with metal oxide, giving you salt and water, means metal oxides are basic in nature. It is an important point you have to remember. If metal oxides are basic in nature, what about non-metal oxide, students? Yes, they will be acidic in nature. Now let us try to learn that property. So what will happen when base reacts with non-metal oxides? Reaction of base with non-metal oxides, right? So here we have studied a similar reaction in the activity where acid reacts with carbonates. So here I'll take a non-metal oxide, carbon dioxide. When it reacts with, okay, base, I'll take CaOH taken twice, calcium hydroxide. What will happen? We'll get a salt, CaCO3, right, plus water. So here what's our conclusion? We conclude that non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. It's acidic in nature. It is our base substance. When they are reacting, giving you salt and water, again it is similar to our neutralization reactions. Hope it is very clear. Okay, so what are the chemical properties we studied? First one is reaction of acid with metal gives you salt and hydrogen gas. Reaction of acid with carbonates and metal carbonates, metal hydrogen carbonates, gives you carbon dioxide gas. Along with that, salt and water are formed. Reaction of acid with base gives you salt and water. We call it as neutralization reaction. Reaction of acid with metal oxides give you salt and water, which is similar to our neutralization reaction. And we concluded that all metal oxides are basic in nature. Reaction of base with non-metal oxides. So non-metal oxides are acidic in nature, right? When they react with base, we give you salt and water, which is also similar to our neutralization reactions. Okay, so these are some of the chemical properties of acids and bases. Okay, so what do these acids and bases they have common then? Let us try to learn what acids and bases they have common, and how do we decide the strength of acids and bases. Studied about chemical properties of acids and bases. Okay, as we discussed now, what do these acids and bases they have common? Okay, so you have to see, I'll put on some acids. You can very easily able to say an acid HCl, it dissociates into H plus and Cl minus. An acid H2SO4 dissociates into H plus and SO4 2 minus. HNO3 H plus NO3 minus. H2CO3 H plus CO3 2 minus. Now you should be able to give me an answer. What do acids have common? All the acids they have H plus ions in common. Okay, so we can say that all acids have H plus ions in common. Now question comes, do acid releases H plus ions in aqueous solution or not? It's an important activity. Yes. When do these, now question comes, when do these acids releases H plus ions? Acids releases H plus ions in presence of aqueous solution. Okay, for example, I'll take an HCl, right? When I react with water, it releases H plus ion, right? Now this H plus ions, it does not remain as H plus, right? It is unstable one. This H plus ion combines with the water molecule. Okay, it combines with the water and forms H3O plus ion. Means the hydrogen ions which are released from the acid in presence of aqueous solution, right? They are present in the form of H3O plus ion. Okay, what are these H3O plus ions are called? Hydronium ion, right? So इसके रिलेटेड आपको दो एक्टिविटीज है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वन, एक्टिविटी 7 and 8. Activity 7 will tell you that do acids conduct electricity, and activity 8 says you that do acid produces H plus ions in aqueous solution. Please go through those activities. Okay, so what do acids have in common? H plus ions. And when do these acids releases H plus ions? In aqueous solution, and they are present as hydronium ion. Now if acids they have H plus ions in common, what do bases have then? What will happen when bases are dissolved in water? Okay, for example, I'll take some example, student, here. I'll take a base NaOH. When they are dissolved in water, what will happen? Right? So NaOH, when it is dissolved in water, what will happen? Right? It releases Na plus and OH minus. It dissociates into Na plus and OH minus. KOH, in presence of water, it dissociates into K plus and OH minus. MgOH taken twice, magnesium hydroxide, when it is mixed with water, it dissociates into Mg2 plus and OH minus. Means all the bases they have OH minus ions in common. Any base which is dissolved in water, we call it as alkaline. We call it as alkaline solution. Okay, is it clear, children? So what do acids and bases have in common? Acids have H plus ions in common and bases have OH minus ions in common. Now how do we identify? Now the strength of acids and bases, we have different types of acids and bases. We have strong acid, weak acid, we have strong base and weak base. How do we identify the nature of substances? That is, which is strong acid, which is weak acid. So strength of acids and bases can be known with the presence of H plus and OH minus ions. Strength of acids and bases. Strength of acids and bases can be known the presence of H plus and OH minus ions in a solution. Right? A acid is said to be a strong acid. right, which contains more number of H plus ions in a solution, those acids are called strong acids. More number of H plus ions in a solution, we call it as what? Strong acid. HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, all these are strong acids, right? Less number of H plus ions in a solution, we call it as weak acid. Example, acetic acid, CH3COOH. It's a weak acid. So how do we are deciding the strength of an acid? Based on the presence of H plus ions. If more number of H plus ions are present, it's a strong acid. Less number of H plus ions are present, called weak acid. In the same way, we decide the strength of bases based on the presence of OH minus ions. More number of OH minus ions in a solution, then we call it as strong base, right? NaOH, KOH, etc. Right? So when should we call it as a base as weak base? If it have less number of OH minus ions in a solution. Right? So example, ammonium hydroxide. It's an example of weak base. So this is the concept. How do we generally find, right? How do we decide the acid as strong acid and base as strong base and weak base? Okay, hope this concept is very clear for you all. Okay, so this is how do we identify the strength of acids and bases. If it have more number of H plus ions, strong acid, less number of H plus ions, weak acid, more number of OH minus ions, strong base, less number of OH minus ions, weak base. So how do we decide the relative strength of these acids and bases? Presence of the ions H plus and OH minus. So to find this, whether the given solution is acidic, strongly acidic or weakly acidic, strongly basic or weakly basic, we use an indicator called universal indicator. So this is an indicator, combination of different types of indicators, we call it as universal indicator. With the help of this universal indicator, we can know the relative strength of acids and bases. So this is about the relative strength of acids and bases. So in detailed description, how do we find generally the relative strength of acids and bases, that is the concentration of H plus and OH minus ions, we will discuss in the next coming class. Okay, so that's it for today. This is about acid, bases and salt, the part 1. In the next part 2, we will discuss about the pH scale, effects of pH in daily life and compounds of salt and their uses. Hope you have understood this class, children. Yes. If you like this video, please do like it, share it and subscribe it. Thank you, children. Have a good day.